we see your screen. Take it away.
Very good. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Sossna. I'm with a company called HACARUS. Today, I want to introduce you to a solution that we have launched in Japan and we're now bringing to global markets. The most important thing first, if anything I say is interesting or you want to continue the conversation or have some specific questions, email me, adrian@hackers.com, and I'll be happy to continue talking about this module. This is, of course, true for anyone who's watching this video recording afterwards as well. So before we jump into the product, I just want to give you an idea of the company and what we do. So HACARUS is a company that focuses on bringing the next generation of instruments to all industries. That's sort of our mission. And I'll tell you a little bit more what that means in the next slide. Basically, what we're doing is we're building AI-based tools that allow humans to get more done. In terms of funding, we've just passed our Series C stage. And in that round, Daikin was the lead investor. Typically, our investors have been on the corporate CVC side, but the original investor in our Series A round was Kyoto University's venture capital arm, and that's sort of where this technology comes from. We're coming up on 10 years. We have 3 locations in Japan, the headquarters in Kyoto. We've been able to achieve some great growth over the past few years, as we're one of the sort of fastest growing startups in Japan. We're now expanding into other markets. So what does it mean to bring the next generation of instruments to all industries? Basically, what we're working with is small data-centric explainable AI tools, and you find us in 3 main sectors. The first one is the work that we're doing in the medical space, where we provide solutions for drug discovery support as well as diagnostics support. This is mostly in Japan, but we do have some modules that have already gone to market, including a module that we have marketized together with Bayer. In the manufacturing side, we do visual inspection for quality controls as well as safety management. So this is making sure that the products that are being manufactured hold a very high standard and that all projects coming out are good. The third arm, and that's where we're focusing today, is what we call infrastructure. And in infrastructure, we have 2 main modules, one which deals with ground penetrating radar data for detecting objects underground before construction begins. And the second module is for safety management. And the one I'm going to zoom in today is to talk about what we can do for safety management. We supply solutions to quite a few companies. As I mentioned, it's mostly here in Japan, but we are getting to the stage where we're also deploying solutions in Europe. One notable pilot project has been, for instance, with the BMW Group. Okay, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of today. When we think about smart buildings, we often think about the finished products. We think about how we can get the most knowledge and big data and sensor and tracking out of a constructed smart building. But what's often forgotten or what you can overlook is that there's a lot of opportunity to bring smarter technologies also to the stages of construction or to managing and planning the construction work. So where I am fitting my little piece into this puzzle that this presentation is, or this event is about what can we do even at the stages of manufacturing or producing these buildings before they become the finished smart buildings. And for that, we are really honing in on something specific, and that is workplace accidents. So this statistic is coming from Japan, but we're seeing somewhat similar things in other markets too. So from a period where the amount of workplace accidents actually was reducing quite dramatically, we've seen a period of quite a bit of stagnation, and in some cases, even that the amount of workplace accidents are beginning to increase again. And of course, the goal should be to have 0 workplace accidents, but it's something that has been slowing down or even been reversing as a trend in recent years. So why is that happening? And again, this is focused on what we learned from the Japanese market, but I think there are similarities also in Europe. So what we're seeing is there's a retirement of experienced employees that have a lot of knowledge of how to work sites. There's an increase in the number of foreign workers, and there's an increase in complexity in safety rules and standards. And all of these things have contributed to the slowdown in the speed of reduction in workplace accidents. So we think that there's a clear opportunity to use new tools like big data and AI to provide a compelling solution to reverse this trend and get back on track towards reducing workplace accidents. So in Japan specifically, we have something called a Kikengochi sheet. I know that there are similar things in Sweden and in other countries. And basically what this is, it's a document that you have to fill out before you start work for the day to note down the workplace risks or potential accidents. You fill this out, it's done on an individual level, so a group leader of a project or something like that, and it's done more or less based on their assessment of the situation. And it's specifically this that we have gone after. So this is an activity that you have to do before work starts. And the point of this activity is to make sure that you reduce the risk of workplace accidents. However, this is done on an individual level, and it tends to become a routine task. It tends to be something that's not taken as seriously, and inexperienced or younger workers, they may have problems conducting proper risk assessments because they don't have the knowledge of what could happen. At the same time, we also find that experienced workers that are quite accustomed to KY sheets sometimes fail to update these sheets properly because they reuse the same thing that they put for the previous days, even though the worksite conditions or weather may have changed. So what we have built is a web-based app that you can access from any device. This can be a tablet, a smartphone, etc., that allows for the automatic generation of work site risks. And what we're doing here is we're utilizing a database that's provided by the Japanese government, as well as several other databases of past work site risks. And based on user input, we generate these reports that let you know what are the risks. So basically, we're taking the KY activity from being something that's analog to something that is truly digital. And it's actually quite simple. It starts with the user inputting the work name and the conditions into the app in free form text. This can also be done via voice or even by using a pencil. What then happens is our engine will search for occupational accidents that have occurred in this type of environment. And this is based both on the database, which is using these governmental resources, as well as in the cases where a company brings it to us, the corporation's private database. After that, we output all the potential dangerous risks and the things that should be avoided. The final piece is that this is confirmed by the end user, and then you have created yourself a KY sheet. So it's really about taking something that is a somewhat overlooked and simple task and turning it into a digital tool. This is something that we've rolled out in Japan this year, even actually this summer. So we have some customers that are using this, including Asai Construction. And basically, what we've done for them is exactly what I described. This is a company that wanted to reduce the risk of workplace accidents by extracting dangerous points. And what we got as feedback from the app was that it actually helped them discover new risk and simplify the work. So these were things they didn't think about before, and it's something that is likely to help them to get better at avoiding risks. We also had some reception in Japanese media for this tool, and I hope to be able to add some European or even Swedish newspapers writing about this in the near future. So in summary, this tool, HACARUS Workplace Safety with KY, enables easier accident prevention activities. HACARUS is well positioned for growth, and we have a proven track record of projects outside of Japan. I'm now looking to bring this tool to customers outside of Japan that are interested in trying it. So please reach out to me, adrian@hacarus.com, to learn more, and we can talk about how you can pilot this tool. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you so much. Please unshare. Good. Do we have any questions? Let's see. I've asked it here. No, I don't. I have a question for you. Can you? I mean, you are a Japanese company and you're a very impressive one, but I know that you already do business in Europe and actually beyond. Can you just give us a little bit of feeling about that? Because I think that's important for people to, when they consider what you do.
Yeah, for sure. So this is actually a nice way to say nice things about things as well. So we were fortunate enough to start collaborating with things a few years back, and through these various matchmakings, we've been able to get quite a few projects started. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that's public in Sweden yet, but one of the old big industrial houses have been using hackers for a few years, and we have several projects going. But then it spans down. So we have deployments also in Germany, several sites, including Deutsche Bahn, BMW, as I mentioned, Switzerland, Italy. I spend my time quite a bit in Europe. In fact, I just came from the airport. I left Sweden or Netherlands this afternoon or yesterday afternoon. I just arrived home. So Europe is our fastest growing market at the moment.
Great. Well, thank you for the credit. It's been great to work with you. I have a question for you now. Have you already looked into the Swedish market and the local regulations here? Time to market, question mark.
Yeah, so I think that's where I would like to find a partner that's willing to explore that together with us, so we can bring the know-how and expertise from the module we've built. But for the local deployment part, I really want to work with a company that can help us navigate this. I think this is going to be different for whatever new market we go into. But that being said, we are always adjusting and aligning our products to fit with the local requirements. This is both on the industrial and the medical side. That's just a part of doing business, but we would need to find the right partner to help us with that.
Makes
And
sense.
if that ends up being Akademiska Hus, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, and I can comment on this last question mark, time to market. Actually, HACARUS is the company we have been working with who has developed a working product from start to working products in the hand of customer fastest ever. So we even have a service now, things we call Catapult, because that's how we help people to make products live incredibly fast. And I didn't say that initially, I forgot that, but we always provide all the participants with the contact data to all the people who speak. So in that way, not the other way around. So you will all be able to contact these guys later. So thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
We're going to
Thank
go
you.
on to